Akın Akinozu spotted on a secret date with his new love? Social media is exploding, and the timelines won't stop talking. Welcome to Secrets Behind the Stars. Before we dive in, make sure you're subscribed and ready to catch every twist and whisper as it unfolds. Hello friends. Today we're unraveling one of the most talked about topics in Turkish showbiz. Explosive rumors surrounding Ebru Şahin, the magnetic leading lady, and Akın Akinozu, the brooding heartthrob, have set the internet on fire. The pair were allegedly seen sharing the same table, and the hush-hush closeness between them has sent gossip circles into overdrive. I'll break down the behind-the-scenes chatter, what ex-users are saying, and why this story won't let the headlines rest. If you're ready, let's begin. The rumor mill has been grinding non-stop, and at the center of it all are two names that already carry history on screen, Ebru Şahin and Akın Akinozu. Their unexpected proximity, first whispered about behind closed doors and then splashed across timelines, made quick work of the trending lists. The moment a few sharp-eyed fans claimed they saw them seated together at a private dinner, the speculation took off. Reports soon followed that this wasn't a one-off. In recent days, Ebru and Akın were apparently in the same venues more than once, and sometimes ended up at the same table with mutual friends. That single detail was enough to send their fanbases into a frenzy of curiosity and hope. Ebru has been blazing through an intensely active phase in her career. Fresh projects, polished red carpet appearances, and a newfound artistic confidence have kept her name glowing on every platform. Her followers, always eager for a glimpse into her world, hang on to every post, rehearsal clip, and candid moment. With a schedule that demanding, it's no surprise that her private life keeps slipping into the magazines. Only this time, the whispers feel different, because the man whispered alongside her name is not a random figure. It's Akın, the very actor whose on-screen chemistry with her once left audiences breathless. That connection alone turned the rumor into a storm. On the other side, Akın Akinozu remains a headline fixture thanks to his intense roles and carefully guarded personal life. He's no stranger to attention, and his name has, from time to time, been dragged into speculative pairings. The moment his name began circulating alongside Ebru's in this new narrative, both the showbiz press and the fan forums sharpened their focus, dissecting timelines, shared events, and any tiny clue that could confirm a story everyone seemed eager to believe. The fact that both have remained selective about public appearances only added to the mystique. The spark? It all started with the simplest, most combustible rumor in the gossip universe: they were seen at the same table. In any other context, it might be dismissed. But with Ebru and Akın, the history is layered, the chemistry familiar. The question that erupted across magazines and X was immediate and relentless: is there a romantic connection? Their overlapping friend circles and professional events fanned the flames, and soon users were trading alleged sightings. Were they just catching up with mutual friends, or was there something more? For every comment that claimed, they look perfect together, another chimed in with guarded curiosity. Then came the detail that sent an extra tremor through the narrative: Ebru's quiet managerial shift. Behind the scenes, talk spread that Ebru had recently adjusted her team and begun navigating this chapter with a different strategy. Industry insiders hinted that she sought more autonomy in her schedule and social spaces. Changes that, some argued, made it easier for her and Akın to spend time together without the constant glare of handlers. Social media pounced immediately with the line everyone loves to repeat: new manager, new love? The phrase ricocheted across feeds and climbed the algorithm like a kite. Ebru's silence only amplified the noise. In the past, she might have quickly addressed a rumor, shutting down the chatter with a sentence. This time, she let the story breathe. Every hour of quiet turned into another theory on X, as users built threads, connected dots, and questioned every like or comment. Some insisted that the silence meant only one thing: a secret relationship taking its first careful steps. Others urged caution, reminding everyone that two adults sharing a table doesn't automatically mean romance. As for Akın, the pattern echoed. Those close to him know how pressure mounts when personal topics tug the spotlight away from the work. Sources whispered that he preferred to say nothing rather than pour fuel on a flame that already crackled loud enough. Still, The most devoted watchers tracked his online activity with forensic zeal. Was he dropping hints? A cryptic song snippet in a story, a carefully framed photo, a quote about timing and fate, every nuance was read as a signal. Each action or inaction fed a new round of speculation. The behind-the-scenes talk from entertainment reporters grew more elaborate. Some swore that Ebru and Akın had crossed paths several times at private dinners and industry gatherings, sometimes arranged by mutual friends, sometimes spontaneous. The descriptions were disarmingly specific: easy conversation, subtle glances, moments of laughter that felt personal rather than performative. While skeptics argued that such meetings are routine among people in the same business, magazines and pop culture pages repackaged those whispers as the early beats of a romance storyline. The fact that their personalities seemed so complementary, her poised warmth, his thoughtful intensity, only heightened the intrigue. Soon, the obsession spilled into microanalysis. Users pulled screenshots of follows, likes, and fleeting story views. They marked timestamps, compared travel schedules, and debated the significance of one account catching another's late-night post. It became a game of digital tea leaves. Some declared that the signs were unmistakable, others urged restraint. In Turkey, we've seen this dance before. When two major figures drift into each other's orbit, fandoms, tabloids, and pundits form a chain reaction that can dominate the conversation for weeks. Past narratives also cast long shadows. Ebru's previous love life has always attracted attention from fans who root for her happiness while guarding her privacy. Every rumor tends to swell and burst in cycles, and when her name surfaces next to someone as familiar, and as polarizing, as Akın, the reach multiplies. Suddenly the whispers become headlines, headlines become viral threads, and the viral threads become talking points on morning shows. The sheer speed at which the story inflated proved, once again, the power of social platforms to magnify everything. The instant the first rumor found traction, X lit up. Comments flew from both camps. Is this Ebru's new love? Wrote some, framing the story as a long-awaited reveal. Others countered with a stern reminder: let the work speak, keep the private private. The split tone, half playful, half protective, gave the uptake a particular flavor. Ebru's fanbase, proud of her professional discipline, didn't want distractions to eclipse her momentum. Meanwhile, Akın loyalists worried that the constant speculation would suffocate the focus on his choices and craftsmanship. Of course, humor threaded through the tension. Memes bloomed overnight: Ebru steals hearts again, like clockwork, and Akın's charm works better off-screen. Quips about their old on-screen electricity made the rounds, with fans joking that the universe was just catching up to the script. But alongside the fun came those who argued for boundaries. Enough is enough. Let them keep something for themselves. That tug-of-war between playful curiosity and respectful distance kept the story both contentious and irresistibly entertaining. Then the sources chimed in with what they framed as clarifications. According to a handful of industry journalists, the shared table wasn't an accident. It was an invitation from friends who believed the pair had loose ends to discuss and mutual interests to explore. Witnesses said that while they were careful not to be too demonstrative, there were moments of eye contact that lingered, conversations that turned unexpectedly serious, and quiet pauses that sounded, from a distance, like intimacy. The consensus among those cautious insiders? Not an official relationship, at least not yet, but certainly a connection worth watching. The managerial shift around Ebru kept cropping up in these accounts. The narrative said it opened a window: less rigid coordination, more personal agency. That, in turn, made it easier for her to choose where to sit, who to talk to, and how to navigate a room without a chorus of advisors. People who noticed the change tossed it into the gossip blender: new manager, new love? The phrase returned, brighter and louder, as fans clipped it into edits and headlines used it to grab attention. If you looked closely, the pattern repeated. Akın stayed silent amid the storm, leaning on discretion as a shield. The silence didn't quiet the chatter, it sharpened it. Even tiny digital gestures, liking a quote about timing, lingering on a behind-the-scenes clip, acknowledging a fan edit, were treated as breadcrumbs. And as the theory building intensified, each new photo from a party or rehearsal, each report of a dinner or a screening, was weighed as evidence. It didn't matter that friends and colleagues often gather without romance in the air. In this case, every overlap felt weighted with possibility. The most buzzed about angle remained that fateful closeness, two people drifting into each other's space after a long, public history of almosts. Are they truly in love? That question echoed over and over. Some insisted the rapport was unmistakable and that the comfort they seemed to share could only come from private moments unseen. Others framed it as the first cautious stage of something warmer, neither denying nor confirming, content to let time draw the outline. That ambiguity only kept the fascination alive. There's a rhythm to stories like this in Turkey, where the entertainment world moves fast and the audience follows even faster. The moment two stars with gravity find themselves in the same orbit, debate blooms. Threads become timelines. Timelines become narratives. And before long, those narratives feel like collective memory. It's the classic merger of fandom and press, each feeding the other, each convinced they can read the subtext between the smiles and silences. Another thread from behind the scenes added a delicate twist: discretion. According to eyewitnesses, Ebru and Akın have been careful in social spaces. No staged selfies, no performative gestures. They avoid the kind of warmth that cameras can freeze into a headline. Yet it doesn't take much in the age of instant commentary. A fleeting clip titled Mystery Encounter, a blurred photo from the corner of a crowded room, and suddenly millions are playing detective. The smallest gestures become centerpieces in sprawling theories. The follow-on like ballet never fails to inflame these narratives. Users wondered aloud if Akın had quietly liked one of Ebru's posts, if Ebru had stopped on a story of his. Every motion turned into a possibility and then into lore. Some chose certainty: it's love. Others shrugged: it's friendship. The truth, for now, remains folded between two people who have mastered the art of letting the work speak while their lives move at their own pace. So where does that leave us? With a story that is equal parts whispers and wishes. With a pair who understand their power in the public imagination yet resist being reduced to a headline. Ebru, stepping into a new professional era with a refined compass. Akın, guarding the borders around what he shares. Together, they've provided just enough overlap to keep everyone guessing, just enough silence to turn the guessing into an obsession. And whether we're witnessing the opening scene of a real romance or the echo of a friendship renewed, there's no denying how thoroughly this wave has swept through the culture. If you enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to Secrets Behind the Stars. Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you think Ebru Şahin and Akın Akinozu are truly in love, or is this only a spark fanned by rumor? Send the video to your friends and join the X conversation together. Turn on notifications for more exclusive gossip and behind-the-curtain updates. Until next time, stay curious, and keep your eyes on the table everyone's talking about.